I'm Troy Becker, brand manager for STX Lacrosse. Today I'll be taking you through how to string up your new Stallion Omega. We got a little PLL theme going on here with the yellow and black on the new SiTie X handle. If you like this video, comment below which pro tutorial you want to see next. Make sure you subscribe for future stringing tutorials coming your way. All right, so we have our memory mesh here. We folded over the 9-diamond row. We'll run through the top string. So you're gonna start by tying a knot on the end of the string as always. We'll start on the top sidewall. So you go through the outside towards the middle, and then you'll loop around the last diamond, like so. Make sure it's flush. Pull it tight, and then we'll go around once more, just to make sure it's all the way in. And then as always, you'll go through the back of the plastic, through the front of that first diamond, and then over the string. Pull it up and tight. And then for the second part, you'll reverse, so you go through the back of the mesh, through the front of the plastic, and then down through the center that you create. You want to make sure that you have the bridge of the mesh in between the two strings so it sits evenly, and then pull tight. Repeat the process. We're going to skip the next one, come to the third, skip the next diamond in the mesh as well, and again through the back to the front, and then through the mesh, and then reverse. So through the mesh, through the front of the head, and down through the middle. And again, pull it tight, make sure the bridge is in the middle. And then for this one, we'll do the channel lock on the next diamond. Pull tight, through the back, through the front of the plastic, and again, down through that loop. There you have it. We'll repeat for the next diamond into the next hole, and then like we did over here, skip the next one, and then last diamond. So I'll run through it. So when you get to the end, you're going to go through the back of the mesh, through the inside of the plastic, and then loop around the mesh and through the inside of the plastic again, just like we did over here. And then one more time. So you got 2 loops. And again, that's just to make sure it stays completely locked to the sidewall. And then what you want to do is you want to pull the slack out of the first loop and hold it in place, and then pull the slack out of the second loop. Pull it tight, and then tie off. There's your top string. So getting into the sidewall, I like to do a double knot at the top, and again, that just prevents the string from pulling through. We're going to start on the second sidewall hole. We're going to start by going through the outside, and again, just like we did for the top string, we want to loop and lock this in place. So we'll go once, like so. And then twice, and again, that's through the outside of the plastic, through the inside of the mesh, and then pull tight. So first thing we'll do is an SI. So we'll go through the back of the mesh, going down. We're gonna skip that next sidewall hole and go to the third. We'll go through the outside of the plastic, and then we'll come up through the hole between the string that's already there and the mesh. So through the front, and then pull it down so it sits nice and flat. And again, that's gonna start to create the channel. So we'll repeat the process. This one we'll do on the next hole, so down through the top. We're gonna go through the next hole, the outside, and then again, up between the string and the mesh for another SI. We're going to do another through the back. We're gonna skip the next sidewall hole through the outside of the plastic. Again, up through the string and the mesh. So we should have 3. As I go, I like to stretch the mesh out. It just helps with the break-in process, helps form the pocket a little bit quicker. Again, repeating the process, we're gonna do 3 in a row. So we already have 1, second one, same as before. And then 1 more. So again, down through the outside, and then up through the string and the mesh. Again, stretch out. So then we will do a 1. So you go down through the back of the mesh, just like we did before, through the outside of the plastic, just like before, and then instead of coming up through the loop like we did, we're gonna not go through the mesh and just let the string go over top itself, and then that way we have a 1. This diamond gets to float along that string as we start to form the pocket. So we have a 1. Next we'll do a 2. So down through the back of the mesh, just like always. And then instead of going through the plastic, we'll go down through the next diamond, like so. You'll get 2 diamonds that float, and then through the next mesh hole. And then once again, over top the string. Don't go up through the mesh, just go right over top. And then we'll do 1 more. So down through the back, this is just be a single, through the outside, and then again, through that loop. Pull tight, and again, stretch the mesh. See the pocket starting to form. So now instead of going through any mesh diamonds, we'll go through the plastic and through the loop. And again, that's just taking up space. We don't want to put a diamond there. We already have a pretty good pocket forming. So then, same as before, we'll do another 1 on the next diamond. Through the outside, through the loop for another 1. And then after that, we'll do just like we did up here. I call it burning a hole. Just kind of leaves a filler so the string can't move on it. And again, through the outside of the plastic, and then over top. And then lastly, we will go through the back of the 9 diamond row, and then through the inside of the last diamond. And what that does will allow us to tie off at the end by creating a knot. There you go. There's your sidewall. For the next side, you want to continue the process that you did over here, exact same pocket and pattern. You want to do it on the other side. So I'll run through it quick. So for the bottom string, again, we have a knot already on our string. We'll start on the last bottom string hole, and we'll go up through the bottom. And then what we'll do is we'll find the diamond that we tied off on earlier. We're gonna skip that one and come one in and go through the front towards the back. And then we will skip one, skip two, and then on the third, we'll come through the back like so. And then we'll find the next bottom string hole and go down through the top of it. So that'll form one side. And then we'll come up through the bottom just like we did over here where we tied. On the next one, we'll go through the same hole that we came down through earlier. And then again, coming all the way over, 1, 2, 3, one in from where we tied off. We'll go through the back and then down through the top. You want to pull a little bit of slack out of there just so your pocket's not illegal. And then go ahead and tie off. For the shooting strings, now that the rules are all pretty much the same, 2 straight across, we'll put ours in on the 4th row and the 6th row. So counting from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, right across, and then skip one, and then on the 6th. On the 4th row, it works out pretty well because we actually have an open sidewall hole. So we'll go through the outside. We'll make sure strings are the same length on each side. And there's plenty of different ways to do this. I just like to weave back and forth all the way across, going over and under the bridges in the back of the mesh. You want to make sure your string lies flat, like so. It's nice and easy to cross over. So for the other side, you're just going to go under and over the existing string. And again, weaving back and forth between diamonds. One key point, if you're doing it right, all the backs of the mesh, all the bridges will be covered with string. If you're not, and you get exposed bridges, then you missed a hole. So go back and find it. But again, we're just gonna weave over, under, all the way across until you get to the other side. Then, like before, if you did everything right, you'll have an open sidewall hole. And you wanna come through the inside. And then once you get to the other side, go ahead and tie off. There's your first shooting string. Again, we want to skip that next row and go to the 6th. For this one, you don't have an open sidewall hole. So you got 2 options. You can either loop it around the plastic or try and fit it through the string and the mesh, like so. And then again, once you're done, you want to make sure these are the same length, so it's even going across. And then same process as before, so over and under the diamonds as you go. And again, you want to make sure that the string lies flat. When you get it all twisted up, it doesn't look as nice. So again, over and under, going all the way across. I like to push this out a little bit. General rule of thumb is the bottom shooter is a little bit looser than the top one to avoid any sort of whip or hook when you're going to pass and shoot. And then for the other side, again, we're just gonna weave back and forth. Like before, we wanna make sure that all these bridges like this one are covered up as you go. And again, if you're doing it right, all of them will be covered. When you get to the end, you got the same issue as before. There's no open sidewall holes. So again, you want to try and either weave it through the tiny little hole between the sidewall and the mesh, or wrap it around. All right, we finally got it through. If your shooters are tipped, it'll be a lot easier. General rule of thumb. And again, you want to make sure these are loose. If it's really, really tight, you're gonna get crazy whip and hook. So again, you want to loosen these up and make sure it's looser than the top shooting string, so you get a nice even throw every time. Much better. And again, once you're done, go ahead and tie off a regular knot. And then you can go ahead and cut and burn.